tap out live? Yes. Cool. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right. Okay, we're playing our round 2 match of the exotic variance tourney. Are you streaming now? Pseudo abstract meta says, yep. Twitch.tv/cement the Turk. Okay, round 2 of the exotic variance tourney against Praxis. I am utterly exhausted. I took a 4-hour exam this morning, which really kicked my ass. And it was pretty early too, and I've got another one tomorrow, but this was the only time we could really make this work. So I'm playing this, and then probably either napping or preparing for tomorrow's exam. I'm not super fussed about the outcome here. I mean, I'll try my best, but I won't be too worried if it doesn't work out because priorities, basically. So let's go. Okay. At Praxis, looks like pseudo abstract meta shows our variance for us. We have simple no bishops and then timeline invasion. Okay, let's just jump right in. Hey Los, how's it going, man? Custom match, random color, medium clock, simple no bishops. Let's double check. Simple no bishops. Never played this variant before. Random color, medium, no bishops. Okay. All right. Let's paste our code here. Fine, thank you. I'm doing okay. I've done better. I had a really grueling 4-hour exam this morning. Didn't go very well. It was really hard, and I'm exhausted. And I've got another one tomorrow morning, early. So I'm really kind of just trying to finish this game up relatively quickly. But we'll see how it goes. I'm deeply tired, physically and mentally. Let's tell our opponent, GLHF. You gotta be sportsmanlike. What color do we have? White. Oh, cool. GLHF. Okay. Here we go. We're in. Okay. What the hell am I looking at? Simple no bishops. This is quite a board. Ooh, there are F7 shenanigans on this board. I mean, I know it's E5, but you know, F7 is just our proxy for that in this game. Here seems pretty interesting. Maybe? Good luck. Thanks, Lewis. I appreciate it. We'll see what happens. Here looks interesting. This is, again, I've never seen this variant before, but this looks like something that maybe I want to capitalize on. This up here, after this, what, we've got this, and then this comes in like this? Well, I mean, after this, we can't do this, but, interesting. Other options, we've got this so that we can do this so that we can sack our queen. That seems pretty busted, not gonna lie. This like this, and then the next turn this, and then on turn 3 we'll go turn 2, turn 1 blank, so we actually have time before we do that. So this will also prevent him from playing like this turn 1, which will block this. Sure, why not? Cheesy. I consider this one of the more balanced boards, says Pseudo Abstract Meta. Oh, okay. I've never seen this board before. But I immediately gravitated towards some queen shenanigans here. Man, 2 of my friends are streaming, I know. I'll only be here for this tournament match. How can I choose? You can always multi-stream. Actually, I think I have that command still on my chatbot. I might have disabled it. Let me re-enable it. Let's re-enable this command on my chatbot, so you should be able to type exclam perspective. Yeah, this is the exotic tournaments. Nice. This is the exotic variants tourney. Oh, he just takes. This is pretty good, right? Because if we take here, isn't he kind of toast? I'm really not thinking at all. Good luck. Thanks, Tutor. I appreciate it. Because if he opens this up, well, I mean, oh, actually, I should have done this, shouldn't I have? Well, we'll see. I mean, the plan has sort of changed, because if he takes here, like, I can't imagine how he defends this, this king. That seems kind of bonkers. Am I wrong? Am I wrong to think that's bonkers? Because what happens when we do this? It's a simple question. What happens when we do this? I mean, we basically threaten mate in 1, no? Let's just do this. Because this here is mate in 1, and he has to prevent that from happening. I don't really see how he does that. I mean, to be fair, he could play his king out here. He could castle. That doesn't work, but he could do it. Did we just win? Okay, hold on. Because our next turn... Yeah, I know, right? How does he defend this? Am I crazy? Time travels, maybe? I don't know what just happened this game. Okay. Sorry, I'm just like, I can't tell if I'm just super tired or if I'm... So I just have to like recalculate this over and over to see what... If I'm... Just to check whether I'm missing something. I don't see how he gets out of this one, man. think we might have taken game one with less than a minute on the clock. That's pretty cool for having seen this idea this quick without ever having seen this format before, this variant. This variant seems crazy. Man, I want to roll white in this tournament. Too bad I didn't buy a ticket. Yeah, I think the more sorry, my brain is really, I'm just so frazzled from my exam this morning. I'm like really reeling. Jeez. Well, I guess we'll spend 18 minutes for the opponent to be convinced. I mean, probably. Looks like Praxis made a bad blunder. Black doesn't lose his King's Knight. He's pretty safe. Yeah, I think so. How were the exams? Man, it was really hard. I've studied. I have an exam this morning, and then I have one tomorrow morning. They're both 4-hour exams. They're my comprehensive exams. So there's 4 of them total for the physics PhD for my program. 1 in each of the 4 academic fields of physics. So there's classical mechanics, electricity and magnetism, quantum mechanics, and statistical mechanics. I'm taking quantum mechanics and statistical mechanics this time around. I've spent the last like 7-ish weeks full time studying for these exams. Like 8+ hours a day, like 8 hours minimum. And despite that, I really had a crazy amount of trouble with this exam. They're really, really difficult. At our school, at our program, they're like famously incredibly difficult. It's really bad. Sorry, let me finish this. This actually, Yeah, this way, if this takes here, we just check with the queen. And then there's nothing you can do about this. Sorry. Yeah, so this is, man, that's rough. Yeah, I have exams at the end of every year. Yeah. These are like, they're not like finals or anything. They're like, to advance to candidacy, you have to pass all 4. And you can take them, like, in any order, basically. Whenever you want. You have like, well, it's supposed to be by the end of your second year, but you basically have 5 tries, and they're offered twice a year, and you can take them. I think we just win here. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. All right, so it works the way we thought it did. GG to our opponent. But yeah, you have like by the end of your second year, you have to pass them, and there are 4 of them, and so I just took 2 of them this time around, and you can take them over and over again until you pass, but I'm toward the end of my second year, and I missed a couple attempts because of extenuating circumstances, so I'm under a lot of pressure. And it's just disgustingly difficult. Like, it's a really big problem, and I've been fighting as like a student advocate in our department to try and make them a little bit easier, because it's really absurd how like difficult the problems are. GG though. GG to our opponent. It's really frustrating. It's the whole year in 2 weeks and it decides the whole year. Yeah, that's just awful. That's just awful. But our finals aren't nearly as bad because the content of the exam for our coursework is like, you know, basically everything the professor covered. But for these comprehensive exams, it's like you're not just responsible for, because the classes you have to take and pass the final for the classes separately, but for these exams, it's basically anything in the field is like fair game. And it's like impossible for a professor to actually cover everything like in a class, even like a year-long class for all of the, and it's terrible and it makes absolutely no sense. And it's like a huge problem actually. It's like the #1 driver of like people dropping out of our program and people like getting depressed and losing their excitement for physics. And like, I'm not quite there yet, but it's been like a really, really terribly taxing, like, on my mental well-being. Reminds me of Olympiads. Yeah, pretty much. It's like Olympiads, except, you know, you have to except it's not like problems that you will have. It's not like straightforward problems. They're just like really crazy. Like every time, like you can know exactly how to do every problem they've ever asked on these exams and still be fucked, because you just don't know, like, the problems. They have no problem just like putting out like a totally weird problem that like nobody's ever seen before. And there are 3 problems, and you only have to solve 2 of them, and like the passing grade is like approximately halfway. I mean, that's also like Olympiads. That's fair. I guess it's super like Olympiads. I haven't seen too much of like physics Olympiad stuff. I don't know how it actually works. But it's really bad. You have 4 hours to solve 2 problems halfway to pass. And even then, it's like impossible. It's just really bad. Not to mention you have like a whole life that you have to do besides like studying for these exams, right? Anyway, I'm sure that tutor like gets my, you know, understands what I'm going through. Yeah, he's very familiar with the nonsense. Yeah, it sucks. But let's talk to our opponent. Pawn takes rook was a trap. Yeah, it was a tricky board. Let's accept the friend request and hop into game 2. Let's not keep our opponent waiting. I'm just sitting here rambling. I don't want to be rude. Miscellaneous timeline invasion. Okay. Let's make the second match. Oh, Dreamer and Graven are playing their tournament match. I wish I could watch, but I don't think either of them are streaming. Let's make a match. Random color, medium timer. Match 2 is a timeline invasion. I don't know what that looks like, but we're gonna copy this to our opponent. Praxis. There we go. Whenever you're ready. Okay. You need to bear with it. It will end. Yeah, I mean, I've been bearing with it for a hot minute, so this is I'm at the tail end now. Well, local tail end. I still have to pass them eventually if I failed them this time. But anyway, right now we're playing some 5D chess, so let's pay attention to this. Okay, exchange LHFs with our opponent. We got black this game, which I'm very happy about, because in this tournament, in the rules of this tournament, you don't just switch colors game 1 and 2. Which variant is this one? This is Timeline Invasion. It looks pretty goofy. I don't know that I've played this one either. No, I think I have played this one. Right? Okay. But yeah, there's no color switch by default, unless the first 2 games you exchange and the same person got white in each, then the last one you switch. That's just how the tournament rules are laid out. So I'm glad that we switch colors game 2, because I'll feel less bad. If I just get white twice in a row and win twice in a row, that feels pretty bad. So I'm happy about that. Okay, so what are we looking at here? We've got a little bit of time. Let's take a second. Bishop's attacking this pawn, but it's covered by this bishop. Here, so his pawns can go from here to here. This is interesting. Now, one thing that I would like to point out, just as a general principle for games like this one, is if this pawn ever moves, I'm really getting sort of... I mean, I've only played, this is like my second game in recent history playing where you start out with more than one timeline, but I'm always looking for cross timeline opportunities. If you can get a rook to this square and time travel back, once this pawn is no longer here, so you make a timeline where there's a rook in the middle on c1 in this timeline, then that's mate. So I think that like collapsing on this pawn is actually like a thing. It's an interesting idea. Now we can't do that just without any support. I want to prevent my opponent from being able to develop his pieces on this board. He can develop the bishop here if he wants, but it doesn't look very good. I know that if he takes this, it's no problem because of this bishop, but actually maybe for that reason we want to bait him into, well, no. Because I was just thinking, I'd like to push this pawn to prevent his knight from mobilizing. Just feels good to me. Where does a knight do work on this board is another good question. A knight does work here, and a knight does work on this board on this square. So actually weakening this square is something of a priority here for me. But I wanna block his knight in. So I think that this is a move, and then maybe developing my own knight is a move. If I develop my own knight here, then, well, I'm threatening here, which seems pretty good. I'm gonna need more pieces than just that to threaten there, but I don't know, maybe like push here and then push here is good because we've got this guy in the attack, and we've got this guy in the attack. If I push here and he pushes this, that's really good for us, I feel. Because, like I said, if we can get a rook here, then we basically win the game. This is a really cramped board. 5x5 feels like the lower limit for... I imagine you solving the variants before the time starts in the exotic tournament. Yeah, this is the second time I've done that, isn't it? Okay, maybe let's not solve the variant. We did that for a little bit last week. This is like cheating in many ways. It's true. It's actually, I feel bad doing this because the timer hasn't started. In a regular game, like black starts the timer for white, then they play their first move. Here you get to see what the move is before you respond to it, and that feels like cheating, and I'm not okay with that. So actually what I'm going to do is play, even though I haven't fleshed out my ideas, because it only just sort of occurred to me that I was being a bit of a dick here. That's not cool. We're not okay with that. So I apologize to my opponent for solving his, it wasn't as much about his, well, I did discuss his moves kind of at length, didn't I? I was more looking at the variant in general. But I mean, obviously I also see his moves, so it's very natural to only think about the game in chess, yeah. Solving the variant T1. Okay, so now comes some tricky business, guys. Now comes some very tricky business. Check this out. If we threaten, well, it depends on what he does up here, but if we threaten this pawn and we take here, oh, this could be really bad for our opponent. This could be really bad for our opponent. Let me think. But I think we have shenanigans here, don't we? Oh, and he covered this for me. Wait, this is excellent, isn't it? Okay, so I have a couple of options. First, I can put my knight here to check his king and push this pawn. so that if he takes the knight with the bishop, then I get this pawn, and he either loses, we immediately win the piece back and get check, or he takes it back with the king, which leaves his king pretty open, and that feels pretty bad for him. Alternatively, we actually have this move, which wins the game because it checks his king on the top board, and it's only his turn here, so this wins. All right, guys. GG. Okay. We found it, guys. We found it. This was quite a pair of games. What a mess. What an unfortunate... I feel so bad because it makes so much sense. I mean, it's not like I saw this right off the bat. It's not like I was like, aha, I pushed this pawn, therefore we win. You know, like it was a very like measured, like, I mean, it's a natural opening, right? Like getting ready to attack the, you know, like the king pawn, you know, like pushing, and then like it makes sense. But yeah, I mean, apparently moving that pawn is game over. And like, I didn't know that beforehand, and I didn't expect him to have beforehand. It's just sort of like what happened. And so that's really unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. I mean, we had to see it, granted, and we had some other good stuff too. Yeah, pushing this pawn. Yeah, we had some other good moves, but man, oh man, what a crazy game. What a crazy game. If cheese is offered to you, do you refuse it? Clearly not. Two cheese is gonna be maybe the name of the YouTube video or something. Man, apparently moving up. I wouldn't have seen that from a mile away. We sort of walked into it. We like naturally walked into it. It's not like I didn't play this knight move thinking at the time we'll definitely go back one turn. I had different ideas. But then actually forcing me to kick this knight is kind of what led me to think, okay, well, we had the idea of moving here and then trading and then getting the pawn up here, and then ideas with this bishop later down the line, but yeah, it just sort of popped out. Is Average Human in this tournament? No, he isn't. Thank God for the rest of us, because I mean, he's basically solved every variant under the sun, or the moon maybe. How much cheese makes a moon? Moon first, sink later. I'm still working on those emotes. I'm working on the moon first, sink later emotes. GG to our opponent. GG Praxis. Let's message him here. Haha. Totally stumbled into this. I would never have thought that opening move was dangerous. Probably would have done the same thing as white. Can't stay to chat, GG's. Alright, thanks for the games, man. Honestly, I probably can't stay either. But thanks for making this work. you know, he like cleared his schedule to make this work. I cleared my schedule to make this work. I'm glad that we were able to play. So yeah. Funny thing is, if he doesn't move that pawn, the tactic doesn't work. Yeah, totally. Because if he doesn't move this pawn, then when you go back a turn to capture the pawn, it just captures you back. So kind of crazy. I've gotten a simple bot to work on chess in 5D if you want to check it out after your matches. Ooh, that's exciting. I might give that a shout before we go offline. But let's report this to pseudo abstract meta. I'll report this in a second. But chat, listen. Thanks so much for joining. It was a pretty brief stream. The games were like maybe, I don't know, it was like 5 minutes and 2 minutes or something. But I've seriously debated, because I had this exam this morning and I have this exam tomorrow morning as well, and they're super important. I debated not doing this at all and just like forfeiting, because it felt kind of irresponsible, like actually spending time doing anything other than preparing. But I sort of, you know, like geared myself up, and I was like, you know what, like, let's just get it out of the way. It'll be good to take a break anyway, etc. But now that it's over this quick, I think I still do, like, even though we haven't spent too much time, I think I do want to go back to like getting, you know, preparing basically for the exam. So I think I'm gonna call it a short stream right here. I think we'll check out Alex Bay's, just because he came in to shout out his chess in 5D. And maybe we'll give that a quick look, and then I think we're just gonna go offline. Just because I can't afford to not do as well as I possibly can on this exam tomorrow. Thank you for the good luck. I appreciate it. You're supposed to learn for this one since high school. Last minute won't do much. Yeah, there's still a few things. You're allowed a cheat sheet, like to bring in a handwritten front and back piece of letter paper, 8.5 by 11. And I've still got some space on there, so even if I'm not like actively cramming and like preparing in that way, spending some time to write some additional like problem solutions on the page, I think will help. So yeah, the moves take about 30 seconds. IDK, if you want to do it if you're crunched on time. 30 seconds? Maybe not. Let's just pull this up. And let's share our screen. Let's just pull this up and see if it loses to like the quick Scholar's Mate. Okay. Import. Standard timed game. Screen cap. Okay, guys, we're playing against Alex Bay's bot. The computer gets white. And now we wait. My PC's burning up trying to run this. I mean, I've got a pretty strong PC. I know it doesn't handle F7 sec. Well, that's fine. We'll give it a little bit more of like a rudimentary, you know, we'll go for, okay, it moved. I mean, we won't go for like turn 1 stuff, but we will go for pretty basic stuff. Oh, F actually, I pressed F to submit my move by just like intuitively, because I'm used to it, and it works. The hotkey is programmed into the website, so very good. I mean, we're gonna flag the shit out of this computer, if nothing else. Man, I really wish they made it so you can draw arrows. Dude, I don't know if this is a meme. If you're doing a meme here, let's do this. Tutor, because I've like once a stream I lament the fact that you can't draw arrows. However, Alex Bay came in with his version here that you're seeing, and one day during chat, during my stream, he was like, huh, arrows, I bet I could do that like right now. And then he did it, and then by like from the beginning to the end of the stream, it was like a 6-hour stream, he added this functionality of drawing arrows. Let me pull myself into the corner here. So this little this button here, the pen button, you pick a color and you can fucking draw arrows like that. How beautiful. It's not, they're like randomly, you know, you can do like, it doesn't like auto sense the squares, and it doesn't do like L's for knights, but you can draw arrows. You know how much I'd give for this dude? It's move 3 and he travel to take a bishop. Yeah, questionable at best. But you know, it's actually fine. I'm just gonna do something else. Actually, I don't even want to attack it so that next turn I can recapture it with my bishop. Maybe if I don't attack it, it won't see that I can recapture it with my bishop. I don't know how the bot works, but we'll see. I think it was just so, it's like us when we played 5D for like the first time, right? You move this out, and then as soon as you realize that you can do like a 5D move, you just immediately like snap it off, like no questions asked. You're like, shit. Oh my god, we can capture that bishop here with this knight here. That's incredible. Let's do it. Wait, it didn't. Sorry, it went back in time. It didn't capture the bishop at all because this is turn 1. It went back to turn 1. I'm a silly goose. That's much worse. Dude, we have the same board one in the world. Great minds, Tutor. What can I say? Yeah, we're gonna recapture here and see what he does. Sorry, I got baited by what Tutor was saying, but it didn't go back in time to capture a bishop. It just went back in time. He didn't take my bishop. You're right. Yeah, he went back to. That's not how this works. That's not how time travel works. I got baited by Tutor. Sorry. No, the bishop's just here. Okay, I think we have. Wait, why did I capture this? I had like definite mate on this board in like one turn. Whatever. Okay, it moved the rook. Okay, it moved the rook. Okay. Actually, if we move the queen, well, it's not our turn on that board, but I think we have mate in 2 turns, right? Because we can, because if we move the queen here, then our next turn, we can move the queen here and it's mate. So yeah, we've got mate in 2. It's the computer's turn and there's check. If it took that long to play under normal circumstances. It's worse than strong balanced bot. Yeah, it's CPU intensive since it's JavaScript. The game's CPU intensive too, though. Right? Pretty sure it doesn't. Pretty sure there's no like GPU acceleration or whatever. I don't know that much about computers, despite having a computer science degree. So don't judge me, please. Oh wow, it saw that you can capture instead of just capturing with the. Yo, that's impressive. Check this out. Game is okay until checkmate. Yeah. So here, I think we're doing great. We can deliver a check on the top board. Next turn, not that it really matters. But I think we've got mate. But hey, it captured here. That's better than like most players. You know? That's pretty good. So I'm not gonna judge too harshly. Look at this. Doubled up the bishops. I say this is a triumph. Yeah, I mean, my only complaint is that it takes so long for... Not that I'm actually... Okay. Alex Bayiga. Bot error. I don't know what happened. I broke your bot. Rip. I think this move was just too high value. I think it couldn't figure out how to... I think it tried to like evaluate, you know, and it like integer overflowed on like the evaluation bar. Send a debug report. How do I do that? Oh, the message went away. So I can't. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, Control Shift I. What am I looking at? Is any of this actually like useful for you? Where do I go? Console tab. Oh, it's not in the console tab. Okay, let's debug this all together. Wait, where did it? Sorry, what was the error? Error forfeit. Is there a? No, there isn't. Oh yeah, there is. Okay. Worker.anonymous. Wait, no valid action found. Not in debug mode. Error may be cryptic due to web worker processing. Oh, that's just this. Okay, it doesn't actually tell you where the error happened. Bot just rage quit. Don't worry about it. Again, super simple, so it's not great now. Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to show off the fact that it works. Because, I mean, this is like a triumph on its own, right? Until it stopped working, and then I kind of, was sad for you. But, hey, progress, right? Like, it's not easy to do this. I mean, I applaud you in every way. I love humans turn. Yeah, that's good. But here we go. This is the beginning of something beautiful. Alex, about your website in general, I mean, hats off. Like, you're doing God's work. This is incredible. The one thing that I don't know if or how you can do anything about it, but like when I'm like elsewhere, usually I'll pull this up if the game's not installed on the computer. But it kind of takes a while to do stuff when there's no AI involved, like at all. Even if I'm on a good computer. So like if I just want a local game, human versus human, whatever, no timer needed. Oh, no, it works great. Okay, so actually the problem is that the computer that I was running it on apparently is borked in some way. Sorry, on my laptop, which isn't a terrible laptop, like the process of like clicking and then getting like the options to move something and then actually moving them and then hitting submit takes like 30 seconds a turn. And I don't know why, but apparently it's like the hardware's fault. So that's a my bad, not a your bad. It's a problem with the rendering thing. Might be an old build. Oh, okay. Possibly. Oh yeah, sometimes I like boot it up and it says like update available. And I don't know what that means, and I click it, but then like the next time I load up the website, it just says update available again. So I don't really know how to navigate the website. I think I'm just being silly. But shit, this works fucking beautifully, dude. So I take it back. Very well done. Okay, super neat. Yeah, sorry I don't have like more specific stuff to give you there. But okay. So that's going to be the stream. It would be cool to teach the F7 variants to a bot. That would be amazing. I want to do so many. Oh, another amazing thing would be if you could fucking like I wanted custom tactics puzzles in the game for so fucking long. Not that it's that like easy to, throw together or whatever, but I just thought if I could like pull back up a bunch of tactics from games that I like saw over the course of a long amount of time, but like have set pieces where they just come up one after the other so I can like really internalize them, just like regular tactics puzzles in chess. I think that'd be super clutch. I'm really upset that the game doesn't have any way to do like custom set pieces or a board editor or anything like that. But if I could just like have a file full of like set pieces and then just like have it read all of that and then like spit the boards back out at me, like render them, and I look at them, that'd be sick. Whole system is planned, but I have a lot of work to do with that. Yeah, I'm sure it's like down the road, I know I got a lot to do. Okay, well, that's gonna be it. thanks so much for tuning in, even if it was just for a little bit. I really appreciate the support, guys. I hope you guys had fun. I hope I hope you got some ideas, just like the way that we talked about these variants. I hope that they, you know, that they sort of sparked something for somebody. Thank you so much for wishing me luck, guys. I really appreciate the support. I'm gonna need it. Today's is rough. Tomorrow's is probably gonna be harder, but thank you so much. 2 W's. Hell yeah. Which pieces are going to be implemented in chess in 5D? Good question. That's an Alex Bay question. Yeah, I mean, the possibilities are endless. But yeah, thank you, Los. We're just gonna end it here. Actually, I think Lexi might still be streaming. I don't know if he started streaming after his game. If he did, then we'll just raid him. I think all you guys came from that stream anyway, and maybe you guys are already in that stream as well. So we're just gonna raid Lexi, and that'll be fun. That'll be a good time. Let's do /raid. Some small streamer here. I don't know if you've heard of this guy, but you know, I think that he could use some support. Give him some love before you log off, you know. And that'll be it. So I'll be back for a full stream, hopefully, fingers crossed, on Saturday next week as planned, you know, like 6-7 hour stream. So join me then. But until then, catch you guys later. Take it easy. Much love.